two-wheel drives. Getting towards the end of each class. Have 5 in one and 6 in the other. 5 modified four-wheel drives. Tim Skelton and the Bone leading right now in this modified four-wheel drive division. Derek Brown on his option hook. He was the first puller, turned it down. He went 300 and change. 300.92. Here comes high-class grass. Good hook for Derek Brown. Brand new truck for him. $295.68 feet. 295.68 for the truck originally built in Oklahoma by the Johnson brothers back in the 80s. Over on the two-wheel drive side, Jeremy Nelson out of Sydney, Illinois. The Midnight Gambler. Nothing doing over there on that left side. They're wearing that left side out. $272.96. Kind of the same story as last night. That track started falling apart early on in the class. With the exception of Mindy Brown, who come in about the halfway point in the class and managed to take the lead at 318.05. The rest of the class numbers, distances just fallen off. Right now, Mindy Brown leads at 318.05. Second place at this point is Cameron Pascal with a high cotton. And third, Tim Fitzsimmons and Sweet Heat. 5 trucks to go in this Supermod two-wheel drive class. Ryan Thornton, last night's winner, the Backdraft Chevrolet out of Gravity, Iowa, coming up. On the four-wheel drive side, Lane Thornton on deck. Richard Morris coming up next in the two-wheel drives. Folks, we take a break next weekend for the holiday weekend, the 4th of July weekend. No pulling for the Outlaws next weekend, but 2 weeks from now, it'll be pedal to the metal. 20th anniversary of Thunder in the Valley, Rock Valley, Iowa. 2 weeks from last night, 2 weeks from tonight, 3 sessions of pulling. The Outlaws feature 22 classes in total. I believe there are only 3 classes not being featured there at Thunder in the Valley this year. Lots of classes, lots of iron. It's become an iconic pull on the schedule with the Outlaws. So 2 weeks. Can't make it up there to Northwest Iowa. Check it out on outlawpulling.tv, the official live streaming channel of the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Puller. .22 points champion. This man won all the marbles last season in this Supermod two-wheel drive class. That is real sheet metal. That is not a fiberglass body. That is a Willys pickup. Running a Minor Brothers Racing Hemi putting out close to 3,000 horsepower. This one's got a little different sound. Got a long tube primary header. They go out and curve up and point upwards after they come underneath the body of that truck. He was turning some RPM last night. I'm guessing he was close to 10,000 RPM. Was really zinging that motor, showing it no mercy. Trying to navigate a tough track, and it looks like he's going to have to do the same thing tonight. Spots the sled a little farther to the right than what we've seen a lot of the two-wheel drive pullers do here. Richard Morris. Buffalo's Chips out of Dillsboro, Missouri.
Even the explosions are bigger in Texas. And I'm just glad Taylor Van Beek is okay. What a scary, scary ride. I was in Toma Friday night, and I got that
That's
video.
subjective, by the way.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. So welcome, everybody, to Outlawed with Ron Stone. My name is Jason Schultz. I am the co-host, number 2. I always want to be clear at the beginning of every show. I am number 2. June 27th, Outlawed with Ron Stone. The Ron Stone drink and a Cold Train energy drink. And Tim Lancaster. He is a international crazy nut, and he does an amazing job with social media for Thunder in the Valley. And we all know the number 20 Thunder in the Valley Truck and Tractor Pull is coming up next week, Friday, July 7th, Saturday, July 8th. We're going to be in Concord, Nebraska, Thursday, July 6th. But we wanted to bring Tim on the show tonight. He does an amazing job promoting Thunder in the Valley on social media and also very involved with the event as well. But kudos to you, Tim. Golf clap, golf clap, golf clap. So he's looking at his internet like, what is going on? You think he can hear us?
I don't think he can hear us.
Hold on.
Do you ever have that guy? It's like that guy in the fish tank, Ron. Like, you take the little food and he just wiggled around a bit and his eyes are all big and he's like, what's going on? So
can you hear us now, Tim?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Okay.
How's it going?
Oh, it'd be a lot better if I had a newer computer. How about you guys?
Doing great.
I got a good computer. I'd like to have $1 million a year to go tractor pulling. Other than that, Tim, I mean, my life's good. I wish interest rates were a little lower.
Take an old computer and trade for something
right.
like that.
I wish interest rates were a little lower. Other than that, I'm happy. I got my looks. I got my personality. It's all good. So
well.
I'm happy with just the computer.
Actually, I want you to get some better internet, Lancaster. That's what I want you to get.
Tim, where do you live at?
I live about, from Rock Valley as the crow flies, 20 miles to the northeast, 4 miles west of a little town called George.
George. Oh, nice.
Yep. George Beyer won the 4.1 limited pros in Iowa.
And he's actually,
I heard that. I heard he
probably another 20 minutes northeast of George over.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I heard he laid down a monster pass.
Oh, I'm actually just getting your message, Tim. It says you may not be able to come on.
I'm here.
All right. Yeah, you're kind of freezing up here and there.
I made it.
Tim, it's kind of a weird deal. A guy, I kind of have a connection to you through a band I played in down here in the Kansas City area. A guy that played keyboards with me, his wife is somehow related to your brother. It's a blank spore, and he's related to you. I don't know. We'll have to talk about that off air. It's kind of funny because she brought up something about tractor pulling and somebody she's related to, and she said his last name, and I was like, "Whoa, Tim!" And she's like, "No," and I can't remember the name, but it was a blank spore, and
okay,
I think he's related to you. He goes to tractor pulls a lot, so I assume he's related to you.
Sure.
Taylor.
Hey, how's it going, Ron?
How's it going, man?
Not too bad.
Taylor, it's not good when you make the highlight reel. I love you, buddy. That sucks.
Yeah, there's more than one way to do it, you might say.
Yeah, I've only done it your way as well, so it's all good.
Taylor's been making a habit of it, though.
Yeah.
Not only did he make the highlight reel, he made the slow-mo highlight reel.
There you go.
Yeah.
I have to do this, Taylor, because you're my friend. Hold on. I did that wrong. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. What is going on? Stop sharing screen.
I didn't touch a thing.
Hold on. Taylor, do you have all your eyebrows?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're all there.
Because here, watch. So you guys.
I'll never do that again.
Everybody, I'm going to play the video quick. That's Taylor Van Beek on the left of your screen, and this was his pass in Whitewright, Texas, Friday night. That's why once I knew Taylor was okay, I joked a little bit about where's your eyebrows at, buddy? So.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Oh.
Could you feel the concussion from that?
Oh, so like Windsor last year when we went up in flames there, that was a piston. I would say this one I could feel the heat a lot more. Like you got to put them visors down because I felt that like right down my neck, everything. I mean, you could feel the heat on that one. If I didn't have that visor down, yeah, it'd have been a different story.
Was it like a concussive thump? Could you feel it?
Well, so like you can, if you slow it down, you see that little burst, and then that's kind of when the turbo let loose, and then all of a sudden from there the oil catches the manifold and just starts that big old burst. But the pressure kind of kept under the hood. You can see the hood lift up pretty good, but I didn't feel much of that pressure, but you could kind of feel some of that fluid come back.
Is that my internet or Taylor's?
That's Taylor's.
And for a short amount of time, but
yeah.
You got me yet?
Tim, we won't give you any more trouble about your internet.
I think
let me look at mine.
We lost you.
Last time I was on,
most of what you
was
said
good.
Well, it says I got about 3 bars here, so I don't know. It's kind of wishy-washy.
Greg Lucetto wants to know if he needs to start stockpiling Agco hoods for you.
Yeah, he's going to have to work on it.
So Taylor, what's your plan from here on out?
Well, we kind of discussed it. We want to jump into that pro stock class. We've got one in the works, and here it's just hard to get parts back in, and to run at that limit, I think it just takes a lot more time and dedication than what I can offer. You might say if I have to keep continuing to do extreme performance and keeping customers happy with tires, I mean, it's almost a full-time job keeping that diesel super on the track. And to the level where we're trying to push it at, I can't commit to that full. So
we lost losing Taylor back and forth here. Tim, we brought you on because
I would say, we're going to get our feet. Here, I'll try hopping in a different room here.
Yeah. We keep losing you, Taylor.
No, not a problem.
So, Tim, we brought you on because you do a great job promoting the pull at Rock Valley, the Thunder in the Valley. Tell us what Rock Valley has in store for the 20th anniversary this year.
Oh, I can't give away all the secrets, I guess. There's 3 big sessions starting Friday night at 6:30, Saturday afternoon at 12, and Saturday night at 6. I saw the anniversary t-shirts today, which are pretty sweet. They'll come in red, charcoal, and blue. There's quite a bit of extracurricular activities scheduled for the opening ceremonies, and you'll just have to come check them out. And I believe there's 34 classes, all but the one diesel pickup class will be there. So it should be a pretty big evening, a pretty memorable weekend.
Yeah, I think if I pull the schedule out here, I think there was we have 22 available classes, and I think
that everybody's hooking twice.
Yeah, everybody's hooking twice, but there are only 3 classes that.
Is there a 2.6 diesel truck?
There's a 2.6 diesel truck. There's a 3,500 RPM Pro Farm.
Okay, there you go.
And light limited super stock.
Yeah,
those are the only 3 classes you're not having there. So, pretty.
I believe schedule. This is the biggest schedule that Thunder in the Valley's ever had.
Yeah, I one of the things that you guys are known for there is keeping things moving rather quickly with very little downtime between hooks. Track crew is really going to have to be on their toes this year because there's going to be probably more iron than has ever been to this event before.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of chatter that there's a lot of iron headed this way, and that's a good problem to have. Yeah, the more the merrier. We'll push them through as best we can.
Any rumors that you've heard? I mean, you kind of keep your ear to the ground with and are involved with who's coming and from where. Any rumors of
I know
surprises?
For sure that the cases out of Kansas are coming back. They had posted that on their Facebook page.
Okay.
He's been running into some trouble, but there's rumors of a certain diesel super north of here in central Minnesota that may head this way. But
Esden Lane. His name's Esden Lane.
From Dayton, Minnesota. Would he be from Dayton, Minnesota?
Yeah, it rhymes with Mesden. But I don't know. That's up to him. I know he ran into trouble in where was it? Ellsworth and Hutch. And I know people have been working on him quite a bit to come down here at least once. I seen the Midnight Motorsports team was down in Whitewright. It'd be great if they'd head this way. They got enough trucks they could head this way. So no, we'll just have to see who shows up and who doesn't. I don't want to give away all the secrets.
Chase Richardson's bringing the full pull truck, so the two-wheel super modified two-wheel drive. So we have him on the show.
No, he's not bringing the mod. He could make an exhibition pass.
We're working on Uncle Dave, but we haven't talked him into it yet. So
we started that conversation in Kentucky.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, bring the 4-engine mod.
Yeah, didn't you have a conversation with a certain diesel or semi truck puller a while back, Tim?
Yeah, I sent some messages. There's a semi driver out in Illinois, but I haven't gotten any confirmation out of him. And I've made some contacts with a few other people, and so we'll just, I guess we'll just have to see. I know, was it down in Missouri that first hook? There was 2 semis down there, I believe, that made 2 nice passes. The semi class is offered, so we're hoping we can get a few of them this way, and they can make a couple of good passes.
Yeah,
but if not, there is plenty of other iron that will suffice. There's a whole menu of trucks: 2-wheel drives, 4-wheel drives, pro stocks. It's
no. I was what I was referring to. What I was getting at was I had heard you had talked to Colton Saylor a while back. I think it was Rich that had told me that you had reached out and talked to Colton Saylor. Maybe Rich had, but yeah, the weekend of Monette.
I think Rich did.
Yeah, okay, it was Rich, and we'll have Rich on next week. No, that Monette pool was the weekend after Onaway, Michigan, and you know about Onaway, Michigan, the big truck races up there.
Okay,
and several pullers that had committed to coming were broke, so there was a lot of carnage up there in Michigan the weekend before. So unfortunately, we had 2. It was our very first one with the semi-class, and I stayed in contact with those guys. I think we're gonna have a good class of them at Rock Valley. I don't think have anything to worry about there.
Right.
Taylor, how's your signal there? Talk to us a little bit.
Well, and we're looking forward to that. That's going to really light it up.
Yeah, do you got me now?
Okay, we got you.
Yeah, you got me. Good.
No, harder between. I remember 2004. 2004, the first year, there was nothing was permanent. It was all portable bleachers. I remember standing out. I worked at A&I Products at the time, and standing out the back door watching Rob Polson come in with the Blue Can Fever, and yeah, we couldn't hardly believe that this was going on, and now we can't hardly believe that was 20 years ago.
Goes quick, doesn't it?
Yeah. Some big names have been to town. I think 2012, the whole Simon's crew bought Old Blue. I think Simon Says Dodge. Simon Says Chevy and the mod they were running at that time. And I know Craig Nation's been here. It's just pretty cool. If there's a certain diesel super stock out of Texas that I'm just going to throw that out there. If they would want to make the trip north, we wouldn't turn them down either.
Yeah, they weren't. They didn't have it ready for Whitewright. I think that was the original plan. Was they were planning on being there last weekend, and they didn't have it done. I mean, it's some guys are still waiting on parts. It's still a real thing. The parts supply deals. I know a lot of pullers that said if they break this year, if something major breaks, they're just done for the year, just because parts are still scarce. So didn't used to be like that, but since COVID, we thought we'd be done with it by now, but it's still a thing. So, Cole says he's planning on being at Rock Valley. He's going to Concord and watching the farm pull that day, and then heading to Rock Valley Friday night. Of course, we're in Concord Thursday night. Taylor, tell us a little bit about.
I would recommend.
Go ahead, Tim.
I was just going to add one more thing. I would recommend to any of the fans watching, the earlier you head out, the better, because we expect traffic for this thing's going to be nuts. So if you can possibly make that work to just head out, hang out in the parking lot before the gates open, that would help out quite a bit.
The gates open at what time?
I think it's is it an hour before showtime? Don't quote me on that.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah. Because they do like to try to give fans time to walk through the pits and look at stuff.
Taylor, we've got this shootout going on this year, and you're part of that. Tell us a little bit about that. I got a little graphic I whipped up right before the show there for it. Taylor, can you hear us?
I think you scared him, Ron.
I scared him?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean to. Russell's asking. Well, I'll speak for him. The Keizer Aluminum Wheels Super Farm Shootout presented by Extreme Performance Tire Cutting. Super Farm Shootout, best overall Super Farms from both nights. I believe it's the top 5 that are coming back for a shootout. Winner take all in the shootout. It's going to be pretty cool. Of course, the Super Farms will hook Friday and Saturday night, and the shootout will take place Saturday night after the class. So that's a pretty cool thing. Keizer Aluminum Wheels. Wade from Keizer is supposed to be on tonight. I sent him the link. I haven't seen him pop up yet, but and of course, Extreme Performance and Tire Cutting.
Mr. Van Beek's trying to come back on. I see the circle of death going on, the spinning circle of death from the internet. There he is. TVB.
Do you got me now?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Tell us about the shootout, Taylor.
Yeah, so in Rock Valley, we're going to take the top 5 combined distances from Friday and Saturday night. So your Friday and Saturday night, whatever your position finish is, we're going to take the top 5 from that. We're going to bring them back Saturday night, and 3,000 winner take all for the Keizer Wheels Shootout Extreme, presented by Extreme Performance. So be kind of a nice way to get these super farms. Hopefully you grab some new blood in there, but just throw a little bit more money at them for all the support that they've given us throughout the years. So
now that's in addition to the payout they're already receiving.
Yep.
For making
So
it into,
you know, Yeah, so say somebody takes a first and a second and then gets that $3,000 bonus, they're going to walk away that weekend pretty happy. Yep.
Now, Kurt Koima, he has a business up there. Does he have something to do with that too? Is he, and
Yeah,
he
I think he
money up?
in, he threw some money in as well.
Good opportunity.
So
Each session.
Jason. Sorry, Taylor. And Taylor freezes.
Internet again, or is Jake? Is my
There's
internet
Wade
still
trying
acting up?
Yeah, it's still acting up. Taylor.
There's Wade. We got Wade.
Taylor,
We got
what's the name of Koima's company? Valley.
They've got South Valley Equipment.
South Valley Equipment is putting up a portion of that money as well for the shootout.
Ron, Wade's on now. He's on the bottom.
Hi, Wade.
Hey, how you guys doing?
How's it going?
Well, I had a little bit of technical difficulty, but we're here finally.
Hey, we're having lots of technical difficulties tonight.
It happens. I feel like it's not as bad as Taylor's run last weekend, but it was bad for a while.
Yeah, Tim was using his Commodore VIC-20 tonight, and Taylor's using his updated Commodore 64 from
MS-DOS.
Right. Yeah. How's everybody doing?
Good. We were just talking about the shootout. Pretty cool deal for the farm class.
Yeah.
You guys have been making tires or making wheels for sprint cars and race cars and things. How long have you been making wheels for pulling tracks?
Time does fly. I'd have to go back and do the math. Now, we lost a year there with the fire, but we got to be creeping up on 10 years somewhere in there, I guess, since Taylor came and visited my shop, and we put a plan together and got started engineering the thing. So yeah, I don't know the exact math just because it's got a little foggy, but it's been a while. I mean, we've been at it and slowly changing some things here and there, and trying to keep up with the tires that are coming into the scene here and there, and just trying to do our part to provide a good service. And yeah, since we came back online, the fire, it's been hard to catch up just because demand has been so high. We feel that this third and fourth quarter, we're going to have a good shot to finally get there and finally get these lead times down for these guys. And everybody in the industry has been super patient, super awesome. Can't thank them enough. A lot of our customers have waited months for us, and that says a lot, and we're very appreciative.
You guys obviously are known for amazing, beautiful rims on these tractors with the billet insets and those wheels and the color match into the tractor's color and such. But are you guys making or planning to make wheels for like the 2-wheel drive class or the 4-wheel drive class?
Yeah, it's always been on our docket. Like we'll do, I have, I do some smaller stuff. We do our garden tractor stuff, little 12-inch and 8-inch wheels. We do a 15-inch wheel, in some narrower stuff. We have the tooling to do a 16 and 16.1 that would really kind of launch us into that world. But since the fire, we've just been trying to fill up all the voids that were left there when we're done. So yes, we do plan on getting there eventually. We have all the design done. It's just a matter of getting the parts up on the shelf, and little that spindle time. We've doubled our spin capacity since the fire, so we feel eventually it'll catch up. Overall economy starting to soften up a little, give us a little extra time to breathe. Those things sometimes are a little bit welcome when you've been flat out for a year and a half since the fire, just to catch up. So yeah, we do. We think eventually we'll get there. We've been planning on it for years, and we're excited to get those small little voids in the pulling line complete.
Yeah, I know there's kind of been a demand for rims for the 2-wheel drives since the new Mayhill tire has come out, and that's kind of been a thing. And Kurt already posted a message there, I think, in regards to that you need to get into the 2-wheel drive rims. So
Right.
So are you going to be at Rock Valley?
Yeah, we're gonna for sure probably be out there on Friday night. We're hoping to do a little bit of filming ourselves. Go out there and see if we can get a bunch of customers on film and kind of do some promo stuff. We've been hitting that hard lately. Saturday's a little up in the air. Kind of depends on weather. There's going to be potentially a big race up in Elk River, Minnesota, for some UTV racing that we may have to attend and do the same thing. So we'll either be there one or both of the nights, but yeah, certainly looking forward to it. Looking forward, when you go to Rock Valley, you see, pretty much everybody there's got our stuff on, right? So it's fun to go down the pits, and it's easy film work. All the tractors are spot on, beautiful, and yeah, it's a good time.
Were you planning on setting up a tent or display or anything there?
Probably not. We'll probably be just walking around, doing our work, doing our filming, asking guys permission. Hey, can we sneak in here and get a good shot? That sort of thing. May sneak off to the beer tent. You never know. That might be likely, but mainly we're going to really try to pound out a bunch of good content that we can use through the year. That sort of thing. But, maybe pass around some goodies, bring some stuff with us. That sort of thing. Some thank yous, maybe we'll have some koozies, stuff like that.
So you guys make manufacture wheels for tractor pulling, UTVs, ATVs, sprint cars, a lot of round stuff. You do any drag racing stuff as well? Yep.
Pretty much covers the gamut. We even make wheels for all the universities in the world. They all do their little their cars and their engineering departments. We service a ton of those. So, if it's some form of motorsports and it allowed to use an aluminum wheel, we probably dabble in it to some extent, for sure.
What's your website? How can people get a hold of you, Wade?
Yeah, pretty easy. It's keizerwheels.com, KEIZER wheels.com. So pretty much search anything and get close to that, and it'll pop up. And you can see us. We're about ready to launch a new website, probably in the next week or two. And that's a lot of our new content is being pushed towards. So we hope to have all new shots of the wheels, 360 spins. So you can, in fact, get on there and see one of these big 32 or 38 inch rims and spin it and see it from all sides, back, front, and get a really good idea of what you're investing in. No matter what part of the country you're from, you'll be able to tell and get a hold of one of these tire mounters and get them ordered up and get them on your tractor.
Awesome. Well, thanks for what you're doing at Rock Valley and the shootout. You and teamed up with Extreme Performance and Tire Cutting and doing this shootout is really cool. These things really attract a lot of attention. Fans love it. Spectators love it. The pullers love it. I love it. I love the extra, the focus that it puts on pullers and these classes like this. So the Keizer aluminum wheels, Super Farm Shootout presented by Extreme Performance Tire Cutting next weekend at Thunder in the Valley. Jason, did you have any questions for anybody here?
I love being the co-host, Ron, and just letting you
kind
talk.
Of quiet, buddy.
Nope, I love being the co-host and just letting you talk. I'm over here just clicking on pictures and having fun. Chase Richardson's waiting in the wings. He's eating popcorn right now. I can see him in the green room, so drinking champagne. So, Wade, because of Taylor, I ran all of your stuff. Been more than happy. Your rims are beautiful. I toured both facilities, pre-fire, post-fire, and you're a great guy. And I'm glad to be part of it. And when Taylor comes in with an idea, you better sit down and hang on because it might be big.
Right. No, we're glad he walked in that day, and we're glad where it's brought us to today, and we're happy to be a part of it and happy to help out. So it's been a great partnership, and we love being involved. So,
well, guys, Tim, Taylor, Wade, thank you guys for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it, and we'll see you guys in Rock Valley.
Sounds great.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
All right, see you guys.
See you soon.
See ya.
So our next guest is Chase Richardson of Full Pull, and they rebranded Full Pull Bets into Full Pull, and he's going to talk about that with it, because it's always been, it's a great, we know, everybody watches the show that truck and tractor pulling is the greatest motorsport in the world. There's not one person that will disagree with that. And Chase, we had Chase on Let's Grow Pulling last night. It's fun to hear him talk about that and the passion he has. And we all, Ron, you and I have the same passion, and many of the people watching the show. But full pull is more than just legal wagering for the sport of truck and tractor pulling. It's going to help take truck and tractor pulling to the next level. And they're going to be in Rock Valley. So I'm going to bring Chase on. And while you're talking to Chase, Ron, I'm going to play some video from Toma, just so fans can kind of recognize what they should look for, the trailer, the interviews, and stuff like that. So, and without further ado, the Chase Richardson.
The Chase Richardson. Chase, how you doing, buddy?
There's no "the" before Chase, so let's cut that nonsense out. I'm great, guys.
You're the only Chase Richardson we know, so.
Well, I can't sing the national anthem. I was considering it the Ron Stone.
No.
One and only Ron Stone, the man that can do it all. I down there at the Farm Machinery Show, it totally surprised me. I looked up in the stands and the national anthem. I said, I know that guy. So that's how you get the status. But hey, guys, thanks for having me on. Really excited to chat with you and tell you a little bit about full pull and preview Rock Valley.
So you guys are going to be in Rock Valley in full force this year.
Yeah, that's actually was out there a month and a half or so ago and did a preliminary site visit. I've never personally been there, but obviously heard a lot about the venue and the event. But met with all the guys there and kind of looked at the facility. Very interesting venue, and very, very cool to see what it looks like without all the fans there. It's a story in itself of what those guys do at that event. And but yeah, we'll have our full pull event trailer. We'll be fully staffed, and obviously our presence will be very known there in person for all three sessions of pulling, and as well as digitally and across, what we think is the pulling universe right now. We don't know how many people exist in that universe, but we're going to get those numbers figured out as this thing goes along. So really excited to be there, and fans that will be in attendance will have an opportunity to get some free T-shirts and swag. It takes nothing at all, just showing you download the Full Pull app and or participate in the contest and the free to play cash prize games, and then everybody in the venue will have a T-shirt if they're over 21.
If they're over 21. Yeah. So Jay, I mean, the fans of this show that watch this show are pretty well informed with what's going on. I assume most of them know what Full Pull Bets is from the announcement that was made in Louisville in February. But for those new fans that are I noticed we've got some new fans logging on, like from Whitewright, Texas, that were at the pool. Just kind of do the preview, show us, give us a synopsis of what Full Pull Bets is all about.
Full Pull Bets does not exist. That's probably the first start of it. Not saying it's gone forever, but essentially, this is an app. It's the Full Pull app. It'll be available in app stores and Google Play stores at the end of this week, ideally. It's actually in the Android store. And firstly, Full Pull is a brand, and it's essentially a content portal for the sport of pulling. We're launching with version 0 because just to be fully clear, I mean, nothing like this has been done prior. There's a lot of great valuable information kind of out there floating all around, but it's never been really unified into one. And when I say into one, amongst all the national and major organizations. So firstly, the Full Pull app is going to be a content and information app for pulling enthusiasts and fans. And the best way I can describe it without talking about every single layer of detail is it's going to look eventually like the ESPN for pulling. We all know any sports fan that really follows and has a team that they are a fan of and support is engage with the ESPN app or something like that. Likewise, and then with it beyond the content portal that's Full Pull is going to create, you can go to our social pages. We haven't really been present at all until last week at a Toma, Wisconsin event where we kind of launched our platform. But it's also going to be we're tabbed as the official app for polling fans, official fan engagement app for polling fans. So there'll be way more beyond the competition that we're covering and exposing. And like Jason said initially, as you'll hear now and as you'll hear in Rock Valley and as this Full Pull brand grows, our number one goal is to spread the message to the entire world that, truck and tractor pulling is the greatest motorsport in the world. I think us three know that. The viewers probably on here know that, but it's our mission, our job to make that standard across the industry. And by creating this content portal and then also allowing this free-to-play platform where you can win cash prizes and eventually growing that into real money gaming, sooner than later. The message is going to be clear that this is the greatest motorsport in the world, and that's kind of the Full Pull brand and the Full Pull mission as we move this forward. So Full Pull Bets was the initial go thing, and to be fully transparent, this thing's very infant and new, and the whole goal of the internal quiet announcement as it was intended to be, but we all know it kind of got word out there, across the polling circles, was we just wanted to give you a heads up that, hey, this is coming. I'm a puller myself, but the team that's kind of made this thing go are not pullers or tied up the pulling industry. Yeah. I'm kind of the liaison, if you want to call it. That's a little too fancy of a word for me, but I'm the liaison in all this. And we wanted to get the word out there to everyone that this is coming. It's new. Nobody's ever done this, but the end game and the goal of all this is to grow our sport and grow our audiences across all channels and all waves in the motorsports and just the sports and entertainment world in itself. So that was the intention in the Louisville announcement, and you don't just roll out to Toma, Wisconsin, Rock Valley and just say, hey, this is here, enjoy, because that would, for one, be a huge distraction and would cause mass confusion, and that wouldn't be a good way to start business. And that's kind of why we did it when we did it in February. And we're still, we're, like I said, we're at ground zero, but we're writing this story day by day, and it's going to be really exciting to see how it all plays out.
Yeah, I think the initial announcement of what you're trying to do here excited folks like Jason and myself, just because in our minds, the first thing we thought of is more eyes on our sport that we love, and it's dear to our heart, exposing people that have never been exposed to it. Sure, everybody's heard about tractor pulling, but in most circles, they don't know what it is. So you get that, well, what is tractor pulling? So in my mind, when you first come out with this idea, that's what I'm thinking is more eyes, more exposure, bringing our sport up to a level where we feel it deserves to be. So, I've been on the bandwagon ever since, the announcement so basically you've just kind of slowed down what you're trying to do and just taken it incrementally, a little more cautiously, should I say, or just doing it more measured to make sure you do it right.
Well, fortunately for Full Pull, there's smart people that makes decisions that aren't me, because I'm normally like I would say I get the cart in front of the horse at times, but I normally don't even have a horse, so it's hard for me to do that. But every decision I said we've been a few months infant, but that's just really past getting negotiating, if you want to call it, with each organization and
sure.
Industry leaders. That kind of all came together at the end of 2022. So, but the whole outreach and what this is going to be doing has been a couple of years in the making. And anytime there's no blueprint for what we're doing,
right,
because no other motorsport's doing this, which is exciting in itself. I mean, this is we're not introducing a new concept that's never been done anywhere, like in terms of mainstream sports, but it's never been done from a motorsport standpoint. And that's why we, us in the pulling circles, competitors, media people, industry people, diehard fans. Like we have the golden ticket in front of us to really capitalize on this, and we're going to do that. Pulling in itself, kids. I mentioned this last night. I don't want to be too repetitive about what I said, but simply as this, you said it, Ron. The sport is amazing. We know it's the greatest motorsport in the world, but we all know those friends who, when we say we're going pulling, they don't know if we're going to pull a buddy out of a ditch or going to, pull a tire off a trailer. I mean, I'm just being honest. Like they don't know what it is, because when we're growing up as kids, motorsports as a whole is circled around speed and time and racing, some type of racing. Kids don't grow up in playgrounds and go to recess to see who can pull something furthest. They go to see who's the fastest. And pulling is unique in that speed and time are really irrelevant. It's the only motorsport like that where, it doesn't matter how fast you are. Yeah, sure, it normally probably translates, but there's no trophies handed out by the fastest competitor. It's who can pull something the furthest. So we're dealing with something that people don't really even know what it is. But like I said, and I've said before, and I'll continue to say, like this barrier that we had from the outside perspective, once you get people past that barrier, and it's different for each person, but once you get people past that outside barrier, I mean, I've never met anyone that's really dove in head first in the sport and understood it and grasped it, that's walked away and said, "Oh, I don't really like that." And I said this last night on Jason's show, but if somebody knows someone that doesn't like this or has gone through that barrier, as I call it, and say they don't like it, I want to meet that person, because I've yet to see them exist. So please comment or send me a message or something. But you get the point of what I'm saying here. We're the mission of Full Pull is to break that barrier down that I mentioned, and we're going to do that. It's not going to happen at Rock Valley. It's not going to happen the next month or two. But as we build this platform and build this brand, it's inevitable.
Can I talk, Ron?
Yeah, sure.
I've been really behaving. I mean, Jason's really proud of me right now.
You're doing good, Jason.
Kurt Van Beek.
I didn't even say hello, Jason. How are you, Brian?
Good, buddy.
This isn't your show, so I'll be nice to you.
I know. I appreciate that. I'm just the co-host of this awesome podcast. But Kurt just texted. He can't get on Facebook right now, but he's watching the show. He says, "I can't post this on the podcast you're doing tonight, but listening to Chase, he is explaining it better than anyone. It is awesome to be working with him, and I want you to tell him that I appreciate everything he's doing for the sport of truck and tractor pulling and the way he's presenting it and explain it like none other." So that's awesome.
Well, Kurt, you can, Jason, make sure you type this word for word and send it back to him. But Kurt is, I've had the pleasure, and I've been to outlaw pulls at a younger age in my life, but I'm not an outlaw puller. And anyone that doesn't know me, I'm a mini rod competitor. We have a 2-wheel drive I've been competing with here and there, but I'm well aware of outlaw, and I've had the chance to meet Kurt Van Beek, as this process is unfolded, and the sport is in great hands with guys like Kurt making decisions. And Kurt is a visionary. He gets it. And, the same thing that I'm sitting here and talking about, it's the same thing that he believes in as well. Is just, we've all kind of united in this front. And, the guys like Kurt Van Beek is what is going to make this thing go mainstream one day and really, kick that barrier down. So, and the outlaw team in general, Ron, you're great. Dave Nelson, Taylor, all you guys, it's been awesome. Really great getting to know you. And I know, Ron, the first time we met was at the outlaw banquet. I think prior to that, it was Margaritaville, right?
Yep.
I'm fully expecting to participate this year at the outlaw banquet. So whoever sends those invitations out, go ahead and mark me down for a couple entries, because I could I could see the glow in everyone's face just being there in Margaritaville and how much fun it's going to be. And really looking forward to being in Rock Valley and pulling community as a family, as we all know. And, there's different pockets of families everywhere. But I'm as excited as I am about anything is broadening my personal, outreach of knowing people and making friends like Ron and Kurt and, all you guys. So that's for me on a personal level, that's very exciting.
Yeah, we'll definitely have a place for you at the banquet. I promise you'll have fun.
Yeah. Well, I can't keep up with Schultz. I'm not going to talk about how he participates to the rest of the world, but I can stay up till midnight if
Chase,
I need to.
Now you were a witness. You were there at the Sullivan Pool in Kentucky.
I have no conflict, Ron. With all due respect, Outlaw is a professional organization. You, Kurt, all you guys professionals. I have no comment. Just don't even go there. I don't want to do that right now.
I just have to tell you, you and I have been blamed ever since. I don't know how, but it's your fault and my fault somehow.
Yeah. No, but the guy who robs the bank never knows who robs it, right?
So I did take issue with something you said there a little bit ago. You said, when you're a kid on a playground and nobody's pulling, they're racing. Everything's racing. I was that crazy kid that used to like chain heavy stuff to my bike and like pull it and pretend I was a modified tractor or something. So that's all I'm gonna say about that.
And your classmates are probably looking at you like, help this guy.
I was ate up with it, man.
I'd like to highlight the comment on the screen.
Definitely.
Jeremy is a pulling nut, grew up in the sport, loves it, and he really was a critic in the beginning of this. And Chase, it's so good to get Chase on the podcast now, because Chase needed to get through whatever regulators and attorneys and all this stuff. And I'm, again, speaking at a very low level of intelligence based on all this, based upon on a need to know basis. But Chase kept saying, Schultz, someday I'm going to be able to talk to people and really explain to this. And we'd always said, hey, here's Chase's phone number. Give him a call. And Jeremy was one of the people that picked up the phone right after Louisville and talked to Chase. And you've heard, you guys, Chase isn't a sales guy. He's not a snake oil salesman. This is legit. It's going to grow the sport. It's going to be awesome. And to have Jeremy say, hey, I was a critic and now I'm a believer. And after you see this in Rock Valley, pulling fans, and we know Rock Valley, if not is the biggest pull on the Outlaw schedule, one of the biggest, like with the Wisner and a state fair, to see the fans interact with full pull and the team up there in Toma, and like what you see on the screen right now, the interviews, we'll be doing the same setup in Rock Valley. It's awesome for the sport of pulling. It's nothing like you've ever seen before. That video that you saw before that I was playing, yes, I know it's from Toma. I know Toma's an NTPA show or a pull. I know this is the Outlaw show. But again, Chase said it best. We're bridging a united front to grow the sport of truck and tractor pulling. And the video production Logan, shut up. God, the video production.
Is that the official Outlaw dog?
He's cute, but he heard something. Come here, buddy. The united front that you guys have. Just be nice. There we go. Be nice. Thank you. The united front that we have to do all of this is awesome. And that's what it's all about. And I just really, really happy to be part of it with Chase and help him use our social media to get the word out. You know what I mean? So
hey, and Jeremy, thanks for that comment. I'm until the day that I cannot speak or the day I die, I'm always accessible to any competitor or anybody in the sport that has a concern or a suggestion or just wants to, learn more. I mean, I'm pretty intertwined in this, but there's way more. There's expert industry people that are, really making a lot of these moves. I'm just kind of the bridge, like I said. But I want everyone to know that I'm a 100% resource, and also understand that I fully get it if someone has some reservation about something. I mean, we're humans. I don't like anyone that thinks there's one way to do something, and their opinion's more significant than others is not really the type of person that I like to affiliate with, just to be blunt. So I try not to be that person. So look, call me anytime, reach out to me. Can't say I can always answer, but I will make every effort to get back. And again, we need like Jason said, a united front on all this. And Jeremy, I actually had a chuckle myself because they were recapping some of the stuff, and I saw your name pop up. I think you may have got second on one of the contests and won some cash, which your stuff will be sent out this week, in case you were wondering. But I was like, well, he's came a long way, so maybe we need to hold him off a little bit because we can't afford to just have him win every time. But now, Jeremy, thank you for those words, and I look forward to visiting with you in person at some point.
Yeah. Did you know that Adam Sandler was going to make an appearance in Rock Valley, Chase?
Really? What? What's
he actually lives in Rock Valley, Adam Sandler. I'm just giving Kurt Coyma a hard time. Jason calls him Adam Sandler. But
Okay.
he's asking if you're bringing the two-wheeler to Rock Valley.
Yes, we are. It will be there along with the event trailer. Of course, Kurt. Yeah. I met Kurt. Yeah, it'll be there. It'll be there. We had it out a couple times this year and haven't done too great. So I know we'll be wanting to represent all the other organization competitors, but I can't make any promises because those outlaw two-wheel drive guys are pretty hard to beat. So, but it will be there, present at the event trailer, and then also competing on the track.
But you said it hadn't done that great, with the exception of the Farm Machinery Show. You had a pretty good appearance there, I think.
Yeah, I did. We've only ran it twice, so the first time it had some malfunction, blew up, just to call it what it is. And then at Toma, the last weekend at Toma, I think there was 41. It was middle of pack around 20th or so. So, yeah, looking forward to going there as a competitor as well.
That's not too shabby out of 41 to finish in the middle, so I wouldn't.
Yeah. I mean, that literally, it's throw them in a hat and draw a name in that class. You know, honestly, then there's not a. It's probably arguably is in terms of numbers the most competitive class in pulling. You know, there's probably 150 plus trucks you can probably throw it out anytime, anywhere, and say they can win a pull. So, yeah, I agree with you on that, Ron.
That class is tough. I mean, we had 20 in Whitewright, and just to see them trying to figure out where to go on the track. And of course, if the two-wheel drives really chew the track up pretty good. You get deep in a class like that, it's hard to find out where the traction is. But we need to
talk to Kurt. I'm not gonna give him too hard a time, but mini rods are pretty fun class. I know they've talked about having them before. We would that would be one we would love to bring out there. I mean, the two-wheel drive is, we're doing it. It's the official full pull vehicle, and I started out two-wheel drive pulling, but I'd be lying to you if my heart wasn't really in mini rod pulling. But two-wheel drive, I mean, don't get me wrong, two-wheel drive pullers are as good pullers there are out there. So maybe one of these days we can get some mini rods at Rock Valley.
It's not off the table. It's not off the table. I'll tell you that, Chase. It's being discussed. So
cool.
Our super fan Russ Dostal says mini rods with about 10 exclamation points after it. So,
It's a smart man.
There. Yeah,
smart man. My buddy Adam Bauer actually came out there before and pulled. I don't know when it was, and I remember during 2020, the COVID year, Adam's one of my best friends, and he's from Iowa. He called, and I guess they were considering having him then, and we told him we were going to come, but I don't remember what fell through. But we would love it. We would come support it absolutely, as from a competitor standpoint.
Awesome. Yeah, we've talked about it. I'm sure we'll talk about it more in the off season. But as far as the app now, how do people get the app? Go to the Google Play Store if they want to download it right now. It's free.
Yeah. So at Toma, we have a website as well. People that participated, which we had 2,500 plus. We were close to 3,000 for the last session there before a rain out of players. Which I'll touch on that a little later. Remind me if I forget, but by the end of this week, we are currently in the Android and Google Play Store. But by the end of this week, there's been meetings the last day or two, and getting past the Apple vetting process sometimes can be more complicated than what it is. And I would say by Thursday, I would think we will be in the Apple Store, and of course we'll be promoting and marketing that ourselves once it's available. But just like any app, you'll go download it for free, enter in your information, credentials. This will be version 0, where it's very simple, and we'll have nothing more than just our free to play, in the contests and games for Rock Valley. But it's sometime in mid July to late July. We'll have version 1, as we'll call it, where you'll have a lot more of the content, unified content portal that we'll be producing. And this is, I said version 0, version 1. I mean, this version thing is never going to stop. It's going to be honestly, by next farm show, we could be on version 10 for all I know, because it's not one of those things where we're here and let's sit on our hands now. No, we're going to be making this. We're going to make this. When people open this up, it's going to feel like it's NASCAR, feel like it's IRL racing or whatever, to help break that barrier, make an understanding that this is the greatest motorsport in the world.
Yeah, I just downloaded it, Chase, the app, and I noticed that. Yeah, I've got an Android. I seen someone else was downloading it there a few minutes ago. They commented. Was that Russ Dostal that said that, Jason?
Yes, Russ commented that he had downloaded it.
Downloading it. So
this was what you see on the screen right now, fans, is what Chase and the team, the full pull team, had up there. It's a sandwich board, I call them, for lack of better terms, and people were walking by, and it's not quite in the App Store yet. But people could go up and scan that little QR code, then they got a free T-shirt, and it'll be the same sort of setup in Rock Valley as well, July 7th and 8th for all 3 sessions. So
yeah, if you have an Android, you can.
The other thing, I'm sorry, Ron, to interrupt. We'll have signage and all that stuff will be. We'll be promoting Rock Valley very hard digitally next week in our contest. You'll learn early in the week. I'm going to say by next Tuesday, the games that will be available. Obviously, we won't have lineups yet, but you can go ahead and kind of get your mind thinking on the 2-wheel drive winner circle picks. And I'll be happy to come on the show next week again and talk a little more about that. But there'll be a number of games. Each class will be a little different depending on numbers, but I can assure you there will be a grand prize game for each session. If you pick the winner of each class, you'll have an opportunity to win $2,000. Awesome. If you get every one of them correctly, which we had some guys get close at the last event, and I'm fully expected someone to do it sooner than later.
Yes, there is the full pull truck that you will see in Rock Valley, July 7th and 8th. It's a beautiful machine. This was some pictures I had from Toma this past weekend, but I wanted people to see it up close. And again, there's the unified front right there. It's on the app. Chase has been adamant about that from day one. So it's been great to see.
And also we'll also be doing something very fun. If you'll see some stuff on our social prior to each session, a countdown to pull time show as we're calling it, where we basically go through and we'll have some probably both of you guys. Ron, I haven't told you that yet, but I was hoping you would come work with us on it and essentially preview the event, talk about the Rock Valley pull itself, talk about the games and contests, and then we'll have a little segment that's a lot of fun at the end where we're all making our picks for each class. And you can go back and watch on our social page of kind of how it looks, but we'll be bringing that with us to Rock Valley, and we've had a ton of positive feedback on that, and I think that's kind of like a college game day for
absolutely, yeah,
for kind of how that's produced. I mean, we're not there yet. Obviously, there's no Lee Corso rolling around the full pull trailer, but we're introducing the concept, and it's going to be a lot of fun to have that there in Rock Valley.
Russ Dostal's requesting if you have some T-shirts, pulling T-shirts for your pulling team, to bring those. He wanted to buy one for his collection.
So we're doing a full special just with Russ, and I haven't told Ron this yet, but Russ owns 267 different pulling T-shirts.
Oh wow!
And Russ is a solid 3X. He's a medium, and Russ is a walking billboard. So I love it. He came down to Manilla. Russ is what, Chase, when you meet Russ, it's going to make you feel good about life, because he loves the sport. He's your why. We've talked about this, off the air. He's guys like that and gals like that. Not that he's a gal, but guys and gals like that are your why, and you'll understand it when you meet him. So,
Russ, looking forward to it, sir.
Yeah, I'm fully on board with like the roundtable discussion, the college game day pre-show type of setup. I'm fully on board with that. I love that. I'd really like to do that more often, honestly.
And this is what it looks like, fans. This is RJ Simon. There's a lot of banter, Ron. It's actually quite fun.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Everybody signs a waiver to check your feelings, especially with me. Especially me. I get hammered on. Like, I think I'm the automatic get picked on guy, but luckily I got thick skin.
No, nothing but love for you, Schultz.
Right.
So, When are you going to be in Rock Valley, Chase? We have a pull in Concord, Nebraska on Thursday night, and then probably packing up and heading over there late Thursday night, early Friday morning.
Yeah, we're planning on arriving Thursday afternoon sometime. It's a pretty good commute for us from where we're located, but actually it's going to work out good. One of the other main pieces and co-founders of this basically lives in St. Louis. We're going to be picking him up on the way and hanging out with him Wednesday evening, then coming on in Thursday. And understand it's not going to be probably able to set everything fully up, but at least we'll be there and evaluate what we need to get things going, and have our trailers set up there right when you are walking in the main entrance to the pool, on the side closest to the pits. And then again, all fans, all competitors, everyone in the premise is going to have full accessibility to this full pool vent trailer, free swag, free koozies, free earplugs, bumper stickers, you name it, we're going to have it. So
cool.
This comment on the screen right now makes my heart melt. When I talked about United Front, I can tell by the wording. This is Tim Neary, and he's the promoter of Rockwell, the North Iowa Nationals. Chase loves competing there as well. Rockwell and Rock Valley are two of the biggest polls in the state of Iowa, and there's been years they've been on top of each other, and they've worked really, really hard to not be on top of each other. And then I'm assuming this is Tim. I know it's Tim. I can tell by the way he said, "Let's grow pulling." But looking forward to making my first trip to the Rock Valley event and learning more about full pull bets. Let's grow pulling. So, I mean, again, that's that unified front that Chase and the full pull team is working on. So it's awesome. So.
Yep. So, yeah, Russ says he has 270 shirts as of today.
That's because he went to Manilla and probably bought 4 more.
So folks, download the app if you have an Android, and if you have an Apple phone.
Follow our social pages, because that will be the walking information as this plays itself out. And again, I repeat myself, but there's no blueprint for what we're doing. We're kind of just taking this step by step, but there will be a full information on a weekly basis of how this is going to look. And in fact, there's events beyond Rock Valley that will be this will be offered at, and our plan is by the end of this week that full schedule. There's 46 total events, 46 sessions of pulling, where this will be taking place all this 2023 season. And there's a number of other outlaw events where you'll be seeing full pull free to play contests present.
Cool.
Adam Kester says, "Tell Chase I need a redo on countdown to pull time. Last one rained out."
Kester, I'm driving right through Evansville. I'm on our way to Rock Valley, so we'll just meet you by the interstate, and you can hop in, and you've got the weekend set.
Is anyone going to be at Mid-South Pull in Hopkinsville this weekend from full pull, Chase?
We will not be. No, we were not, and made that mention last night that we'll. I've been to that event. It's actually only an hour, 20 minutes from where I live, but to be quite frank, when the planning for this kind of all started, and Toma was our soft launch, if you want to call that, even though we were in the thousands of participants. We knew we were going to need a week or so just to kind of get our feet under you and get our feet under ourselves and prepare for the rest of the summer. So no, not this weekend, but the vision is as we move forward, there's going to be every major pool in the country is going to be offered some form of the full pull brand in years to come. So
when Ron and I are announcing in Rock Valley next weekend, we're going to say, "Hold up your full pull koozie." So
there you go.
There they are right there. So
Ken Summers thinks he's actually going to get to drive at Rock Valley. You see that, Schultz?
Yeah, Ken's being cute. Sydney must be out of the house right now. So it's all good.
You'll get to drive whenever you get that pro stock done, Ken. So I think you've lost your seat, buddy.
Yeah, he has. He knows he has. He's being funny right now. So
yeah.
So well, Chase, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, guys, I'm happy to do it. And like I said, early part of next week, I think by next Tuesday, we'll have the contest that will be offered at Rock Valley published on our social pages. Encourage everybody to follow Full Pull on all major social media platforms. But if you guys want to get me back on and we can kind of go through it and explain a little more, and we actually have some demo stuff that you'll see and explain how the contests work. All the feedback we've gotten and everyone internally in our team is very, very pleased. I haven't had anyone, and please reach out if you have that you played along last weekend. I found it very difficult or hard to understand. And that's what we're shooting for. And I'll be happy to come back on next week and any other time as we move forward in the season and talk about these future Outlaw events and what we're doing with Full Pull.
Awesome. Yep, we're gonna keep pushing Full Pull from this side of things. Thanks for coming on, Chase, taking the time out tonight, and we'll reach out to you, get you back on next week too. Rock Valley week next week, man.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm taking the weekend off to rest my my health and everything.
Yeah,
I've heard a lot of stories about Rock Valley, and I think it deserves a weekend off to prep my body. So
yeah, get ready.
That's another reason why we're not going anywhere else, because I'm just getting ready for Rock Valley personally.
Good plan, man.
Yeah.
All right, Chase.
Thank you, guys. Look forward to doing it again.
Awesome. Thank you for coming on, buddy.
Yep. See you guys.
See ya. Good dude.
Very good dude. Hanging out with them in Toma was a blast, and they very, very professional. That video that you saw from Toma, that's the Full Pull video team. That's the kind of video that is amazing for the sport. These guys that they have, I mean, they're not messing around, Ron. They're not messing around. They're taking it to the next level. And the amount of T-shirts and koozies and stuff that they gave away, I was in awe. It was very, very awesome. So
awesome. So let's I mean, I love what they're doing. They're bringing more, like I said, more eyes, more focus to the sport. That's what we need.
Yep.
We're trying to legitimize this sport. It's legitimate to us, but we want more education so more people know what the heck truck and tractor pulling is.
More mainstream. That's how I say it, Ron. Just more mainstream.
So let's recap the weekend.
Yeah.
Let
me, if you don't mind, I'm gonna play the winner video from Friday night in Whitewright.
That's a great video. Yep. Hit it. Should
have been a little more prepared. Give you a chance to have a drink of water. Rest your chops. If you haven't seen this viral video, our very own Taylor Van Beek had a wild ride Friday night with extreme pleasure in the diesel super stock class. even the camera person jumped there a little bit, Ron. So I don't know if that was Kenzie or if that was Kenzie or if that was Corey with Poland, Texas, that was helping us record this weekend. So
the concussion from that, you can hear it in the audio, was pretty substantial. It was a big old thump when that thing let go.
Ryan Dixon, can you please send me an Outlaw hat and T-shirt of Truck and Tractor? Ryan, go to the Outlaw website and register for the Case IH Superfan Experience for a chance to win fabulous prizes. So that's what.
We have some winners to disclose on that from for the week as well.
Robert Miner, Jacer, are you bringing your juice? Yeah, Robert, you might want to stop by the
Womp Womp juice. Is that what?
Yeah.
You have a patent on that, Jason?
We'll have those koozies and T-shirts at our Beer Money trailer in Rock Valley. For those of you that were asking, they were very, very popular. The Womp Womp Juice koozies and T-shirts up in Toma.
So that was Friday night. That video was Friday night. Of course, the winners with the Outlaws were Doug Meisinger in the Diesel Superstock class. He won Saturday night as well, but he tore his toy up as well Saturday night. Did you know that, Jason?
I did not. Well, Mackenzie, so we had to send a highlight video out to ESPN today. I don't know if you and I know this, obviously, Ron. We've talked about it, but we are filming, or while we film Outlaw Pulling TV this week or this coming weekend in Rock Valley, part of that broadcast will be put on ESPN, I think in August. So Ron's been in contact with ESPN and then, telling our team, the media team, that, hey, we got to get some highlight videos over. So I messaged Mackenzie. I'm like, hey, get all the big classes. And I said, make sure you get Taylor's Wild Ride. And she goes, oh, and Doug had one too. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know. So as I sit here thinking about building a diesel super stock and I see all these videos, I'm like, wow, that's heavy. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how this might be a little discouraging to you in building a diesel super stock. We broke every single diesel super stock that came to Whitewright over the weekend. If they didn't break them Friday night, we broke them on Saturday night. So Meisinger,
what happened to Doug's tractor, Ron?
He lifted the intake off of it, he said, and he was kind of befuddled. He said he couldn't see anything when he went back and looked at the data, what caused it. So I don't know. Yeah, it was a big old pop at the end. Of course, it wasn't quite as dramatic as Taylor's, but we broke every diesel super. And of course, that was the first leg of the Big Smoke shootout. The second leg of it is there in Rock Valley, but Doug won both nights, so he's got a pretty big jump on that. And I doubt if Taylor makes it back for Rock Valley with the damage he had. But some other winners from Saturday night. Let's go over Friday night first. Modified tractors. Ulmer's just nailed one heck of a pass. They went 356, I think, and change. That thing is incredible. And they broke the oil pan, and they didn't throw a rod. I seen all the oil just pouring out, and I thought sure they chucked a rod. And they said, no, it just cracked the oil pan. A local guy down there let him use a TIG welder, and they got it fixed up for Saturday. But in this modified class Saturday night, the old River Rat, Wayne Longnecker, he put a monster pass on Saturday night. He was first puller. I think he was a little heavy on the rear, and he moved some weight, I think, and came back on his option and just absolutely killed it to win in the modified tractors. Cotton Candy chucked a rod on Friday night. He wasn't able to make it back Saturday. Two-wheel drives, Misty Nelson from Illinois won Friday night. She was first hook. And Mindy Brown won second. The only two ladies in competition in that two-wheel drive class out of 20 trucks, the two ladies were at the top. And oddly enough, Mindy's maiden name is Nelson, not related to Misty Nelson, but you got Misty and Mindy show there on Friday night, and Mindy won on Saturday night.
Awesome.
With the little whip. So the ladies in full control there, the two-wheel drive class. Doug said intake manifold bolts pulled out of the runner plate, just more modifications required. Found the weak link there.
He just texted me a picture. I'll get that up on the screen in a second. So
four-wheel drives, modified four-wheel drives. Friday night was Ryan Thornton, and backdraft Saturday night was Ted Skelton and The Rock. And pro stocks on Friday night was Cody Yark And Saturday night, who did win Saturday night?
Rut Cutter, Bailey. I think Bailey won.
Rut Cutter won. Yeah.
Yep.
And of course, Diesel Supers, Doug Meisinger won both nights. And we were down there with the Texas Truck and Tractor Pullers, and I don't have that data, but what went on in Manilla? Do you remember the results in Manilla on Saturday?
So I'm going to bring up my Outlaw app. I'm just queuing up a video quick. This is a Rut Cutter Saturday night in Whitewright. Manilla had that's my second year to Manilla, Ron. I was a puller last year, and the left side of the track still was the place to be this year, Ron. So I had warned everybody. But a huge crowd. They got some rain Saturday during the day finally. I made the trip down from Toma on Friday to Manila on Saturday, as you know, and got down there early afternoon and helped get outlawpulling.tv set up. That was our first weekend where we had multiple teams going, and I got to get two brand new camera people going, Shelby Viscal and Mason Nelson. Yep, it was awesome. I can never say their last name right. I apologize. So
I'm not having any luck bringing the app up. I don't know what's going on with the app right now, but
so naturally aspirated. I was the announcer. Yep, I got it.
Okay.
So I was the announcer, and so I'm a little embarrassed I don't have them all memorized, but it was a busy weekend. Torched and Twisted, Dustin Van Beek from Rock Valley went 3:14.53. Matt Phelps with the dirt out of Madison, South Dakota got second at 3:14.5. So 3/100ths of an inch. So that was the first class out. And they put on a good show. I think we had 12 or 13 of those. I think we had 70 hooks in Manila on Saturday night.
Awesome.
Super Farm, Chad Weisenkamp was someday had first hook, ran that left side. It kind of pushed him out to the middle. He whooped everybody's butt.
Now, a little bit of something to talk about there. He's the only one in that Super Farm class trying the Mitas tires.
Okay. Both says Wampus Cat one Saturday.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Oh, okay.
Thanks,
Well, I
Zuck.
must have showed that. I'm sorry about that.
Zuck Fukerberg. Yep, I remember that now. Yeah, Rut Cutter just barely touched that line and went out of bounds.
But I bragged up the Bruley Buck, because they won Friday in Arlington or Cherokee and Saturday in Arlington. They got fourth. Weisenkamp laid one way out there. But first hook of the class, and he romped them. He just did. But I think the first hook helped him. I think Chad would admit that. Light limited mod, Blake Ott, Frequent Flyer 287, Gage Ott, Warhawk 279, Running Rowdy was third at 255. We had 6 light limited mods. Again, the crowd went wild when Wes Severs brought out Running Rowdy, and Running Rowdy's from Wayne, Nebraska. I did not know that. It wasn't on my announcer sheet. I'm gonna have to beat up Julie or Lori on that. But Kevin Davis was blowing up my phone because he's the promoter in Wayne. He's like, Schultz, he's from Wayne, Nebraska. And I'm like, my sheet doesn't say it, and I don't want to make it up. I make up enough stuff as I go around.
He was actually messaging me a little bit ago. I think he was trying to download the Full Pull app on his Apple and then realized that he couldn't. Yeah.
Light limited pro stock. Now, by the time we got to these guys, the track was really laid in. They're starting to build the road, the infamous road that you always hear announcers say. Right. Demon Deer, Mark Wiggins, Prairie City, Iowa. He won the Pullers Championship, went 384 and won. Jared Hagena out of Hurley, South Dakota, got second at 376. Hunter Soul with spare time was third at 373. I think we had 13 or 14 of them in there. Severson was the hometown guy. Luke got fifth at 366. It was a great class of light limited pros. That's our 466, 8,500 pound class. Again, all this can be found, fans, on the Outlaw app. So just go to the the app store, and type in Outlaw Pulling, and that's how you'll find the app. Pro Stock 4-wheel drives, Troublemaker, Brett Stamps, Newmarket, Iowa. There was about 3 trucks in a row. Bipolar went out, took the lead, and then Rat Trap, and then Troublemaker, Brett Stamps. They had some really good passes, but Troublemaker was 366, Rat Trap was 364. Marty drove, so I was proud of him. Loretta about jumped over the fence when Marty went down through there. It was a hoot to do all of that. So, and the Outlaw app is free. Yes, it is. I know a lot of fans, Ron, they have it up during the pull because they can kind of see who's next up on the line and stuff like that. Noise Complaint, Miles Jump was third. Old Grizz, Phil Kinney was fourth. And then Show Me Chevy, Philip Kreiser was fifth. And at the time, Bipolar, I thought nobody was going to touch him, but they just kind of kept sneaking by him. in our pro stock.
That's one of those classes where they build a road.
Yep. The light super class was ugly. Everybody had a rough ride. Justin Hoffman won, but it was a wild ride. It's on the Outlaw Facebook page as a Facebook reel, and Justin took a really got high. That track it was a mean power track. I think there was gears that people didn't have to shift down into to really grab that track. It was making low gears sound like they were in their tall gears. But Justin got the win. Alan Ulmer had some problems in his valve train. I saw his Snapchat. And Tim Franz was just off warranty, just never really got going. But Hoffman got on the wheelie bars, Ron, and it unloaded and it started to walk. And he did one of these. But he was okay. He was okay. So light supers, guys. Light supers are the tractor edition of mini rods. Because of the weight, the horsepower to weight ratio, they can really go for a ride. And then the limited pros, George Beyer walked the left line better than anybody, and he went 390. At the time, Brian Deck had been in the lead. He went to the left. He rode the left line, and it kind of took him out to the right. He let it go. And then Georgie Porgy kept it right on the left line. High Stakes Horsepower got third. Lane Paulson, our young gun, got fourth. Jamie Yonke, another young gun, got fifth. We had 9 4.1 limited pros in Manilla, Iowa. But it was the 13th annual put on by the Manilla Fire Department. Great crowd. They sold a lot of beer. They were very happy. Sunday morning when I got up, I went over and thanked all the fire department. The cleanup crew, the hardest volunteers to get if you've ever promoted before is the cleanup crew. So I went over and said, I took a picture with them and I put it on the Outlaw Facebook page.
I saw that.
They did a great job. I had a blast. Manila's really tough on internet. Last year, we didn't get the Outlaw TV signal out at all. This year, I went down there with my Starlink thinking, I got this. And you guys didn't take the Starlink to Texas, and you could have used the Starlink in Texas because I didn't use the Starlink in Manila, but that's how it goes. We're continuing to learn. But Greg Lassetto was there from the Heartland division of the Outlaws, and he had his Verizon hotspot with him. And luckily, Speed Sport TV, Nate Ober, and Warren Bauer and the team got it hooked up, and away we went. But it was all hands on deck. Having 2 events go on at the same time with splitting everybody up, that really tests everybody, because it was good.
So. That's something a lot of people don't realize is live streaming is we do it through a cell phone signal. We use cell phone towers and actually use cell phone carriers to send that signal. And it takes really good signal to send a high definition video feed through that. So when you have a big event, I heard people kind of bashing the NTPA because theirs went down there a week ago or so. And, it happens. Manila, it happened to us last year. Manila is hard to get a cell phone signal anyway. And the fact that the Starlink wouldn't work is really weird because that thing has been flawless.
And then the NTPA, they ran into problems Friday night. I talked to Von Bauer. They ran into problems Thursday night. I talked to Von Bauer Friday night. He was asking me what we're using, and I told him about the Starlink, and they ordered one right away. The Starlink had been gold, honestly, Ron, up until Manila. But there's something about Manila, Iowa, with the cell phone service down there. Like I had U.S. Cellular, and my service was okay, but it wasn't enough to run that,
right.
Ron. So,
and then we ran into that last year, and literally we run into some signal issues in Whitewright too because there were so many people there.
Yeah.
When you have so many people in a small area, they're polluting that signal, and they're all using that signal. And I literally on my personal phone, I had 5G all weekend until Saturday afternoon when the crowd started pouring in. I couldn't even send a text.
Yeah, and it's like going to a football game or a basketball game. It's the same theory.
Yep.
Another shout out I want to do it quick before I forget. So this is Roger Rui's brand new 4.1. This thing is freaking unbelievable. It's pretty. This is his first pass ever on it. I think he finished mid-pack. He got sucked off to the right side, and it was soft on that right side. Roger, I should have told you to stay off the right side, but I didn't. You already had enough going on with your first pass on a tractor you've been waiting 2 years ago. But you guys, this thing is freaking sharp. And this is with my cell phone, so it's not the best video, but it's better than a sharp stick in the eye. So here's the brand new One Mean Farmer, Roger Rui. It was funny because Novak pulled right before him, so I had the Mean Farmer green and One Mean Farmer red. It was kind of funny how Julie had it on the sheet there. Can everybody hear the sound? Ron, can you hear the sound?
I don't even see the video playing at this point.
Hold on. Let me I don't know if I clicked the share sound button because it's only fun to watch pulling if you can hear the sound. Here we go. Try this again. There we go. So there's a beautiful new 4-1, Roger Ruiz, and it's always great. He has the white letter on his tires as One Mean Farmer, so I always know it's him easy. Well, obviously his tractor. And then Gary Barrett has that white helmet, and he's got a brand new wrap on his high stakes horsepower. It's the first time I'd seen it. I don't know. I know he went out and pulled in Cherokee or in Arlington last Saturday, but I wasn't there. I was up in Minnesota. So
yeah, that tractor will be if he runs that program the way they ran the light limited program, I know he's going to make some waves in that 4-1 class.
Yeah,
always a tough program there. So
here's here's Justin Hoffman's wild ride. Again, it's from my cell phone, guys, from the announcer stand. When you announce a tractor pull and you have ADD like me, it's hard to keep up with everything. But I did the best I could. So here's Justin's pass, and they live pretty close to Manilla, so it's kind of like a hometown pull for them. But Justin, he's smart. He got out of it, but you could see that last little when the wheels went high there.
Right front looked pretty hard landing there.
Roger Ruiz says great pull in Manila. Excited to see him in Rock Valley. That tractor will get a lot of attention. Anything when there's anything new, and Roger stuff looks so good. Russ Dostal came down from Nebraska. I think he drove 3 or 4 hours. Great foods, great fans in Manila. It was his first trip to Manila. Our super fan. 270 shirts. 270 shirts.
Yeah, I've had a lot over the years. From I used to have those shirts. My dad worked some crews and tracks in Ohio, and I used to have some NTPA shirts. The Super Stock Power. I had that. I wish I still had that shirt. It would be a little small for me now, but
yeah, you could put that on eBay and make some money.
No kidding.
Then for you fans, we're trying to update the graphics on Outlawed TV as the summer goes on, and we're working through. There were some comments from the Whitewright fans that hey, the distances isn't big anymore. Ron and I don't want the old 1987 Commodore that Tim Lancaster had earlier. That font. So Ron and Kaya, our lead person, tech official, if you will, for Outlawed TV, we're working on some new graphics, but they look good on the Outlawed TV, but they're smaller on the big board, the big screen. So we're working through that as well. So
yeah, we're kind of playing around with some things right now, and I think it's going to look better here. We'll get it dialed in.
Yep. So I'm gonna play. Here's the Bones run. I forget but this is from Outlawed.
This will be Saturday. He took second. Him and his dad.
Tim Harvard, Illinois. Tim Skelton, the Bones, fourth.
This would have been first place then because they went 1 and 2.
See the next puller here, driving a Chevrolet 650 cubic inch, 0.25.
This thing just hooks up, man. I mean, it just freaking hooks.
And I think
how many of y'all think the Chevrolet going to beat the Ford? Chevrolet people, help him out. Ted Skelton from Harvard, Illinois.
Then when we switch to number 2, it's a little darker. So I think I figured that out today.
Oh, buddy, Chevrolet.
the Whitewright have their gigantic crowds. I read on Facebook there were so many people there Saturday night they want to add bleachers or something. I saw somebody comment on the Whitewright Facebook page, maybe. So
probably, yeah. They was standing room only for sure.
Awesome.
Now that picture there, that was late. That was one thing I noticed about that crowd too. Is by 10 o'clock they're pretty much done and they start filtering out. But there were people there. It started at 7:30. There were people there at 4:30.
Okay.
Probably 300-400 people, claiming their seats and sat out there in that Texas heat and sun. So yeah, there's some pretty serious fans down there. I did a little Facebook Live shortly before the show Saturday night and got up on top of the trailer and was videoing out to the parking lot and seeing all the cars coming in. And somebody said the cars were way back down the highway to get in the gate. So yeah, I would say Ginger and Ray Miller and crew down there, they do a great job. It was my first time down there. And, great pull. And then, Jason, we need to announce our winners from the weekend from the Case IH contest, the Ultimate Fan Experience, going to your home state. How far are you from Racine, Wisconsin?
Probably 3 hours. It's 3 hours to the east. I'm straight across if you drew a line on the west side of the state. I'm in the southwest corner. Racine's on the east side of the state, south of Milwaukee. Takes about 3 hours from here.
Yeah, for the banner for Friday night, the winner, and this is the Outlaw Ultimate Fan Experience sponsored by Case IH. Sending some 6 lucky winners to Racine, Wisconsin. The Case IH experience up there, along with one of unannounced yet points champion with the Outlaws. You get to go through that build a tractor and the whole experience up there at the Case IH plant. But every week we give away autographed banners for winners from the prior weekend's pull, along with an autographed Case IH hat. Friday night, Rock Valley, the banner goes to Chad Hare of Granger, Iowa. The banner from Manilla, Iowa goes to Lowain Goosen from Freeman, South Dakota. Are you typing these in? Am I going too fast?
Yeah, I need to.
Sorry.
Let's start. Okay, so Friday night, Whitewright winner.
Chad Hare, Hare.
Chad Hare.
Fukerberg, are we going to see the Griffin Growl in Rock Valley? Since he's watching there.
So I got that one posted. Your Friday night winner, and then you said Saturday night Manilla.
Saturday night Manilla is Lowain, L-O, then just like Wayne, the name Wayne.
Okay.
Goosen, Goosen.
Okay. Put that up on the screen. Give me a second.
Lowain's from Freeman, South Dakota.
And Saturday night Whitewright banner.
Saturday night Whitewright is Vicky Burbach. Burbach.
Is it Vicky with an IE or Vicky with an I?
I.
Okay. There you go.
From Minnetonka, Nebraska. And then an autographed Case IH hat is Sean Blaney. Blaney. Sean, Sean.
Oh, thank you.
From Whitewright, Texas.
Hey, cool.
So Sean either entered on his phone that night or scanned one of the QR codes that were there on site at the Whitewright pool. So that's good to see a Whitewright fan win a hat there.
Love it.
So, folks, and if you want to enter that contest, you can do so at outlawpulling.com on the homepage. Or at one of our mini events this summer, scan the QR code you see on one of the banners. You get entered in that contest, not only for hats and banners, Case IH banners, winners banners, but also for that Case IH experience in racing Wisconsin. The drawing takes place for that on October 31st. So just want to hype up Rock Valley coming up. We've got a weekend off this weekend. Take a break. There's other pulls around the country, other organizations putting on some pulls, and we're all pulling fans here. So I'm going to take a break and chill out a little bit.
Yeah, I got my checks mailed out for my beer money bonus winners to the light limited mod guys. And the light super guys. Schweschlig and Ulmer got the beer money bonus last week, and then Captain Hook, David Anderson, and Metcalf from Monette, Missouri. So,
what class did we do this past weekend? I can't remember.
Two-wheel drives.
Two-wheel drives. Okay.
So I need you to, if we could figure that out, and I can message those guys. It was a 2-night deal, so we got to add up total distance, right?
Yep. We'll have to do that.
I'll do that. I'll make a post.
Isn't that terrible? I couldn't even remember what the drawing, which class from.
If you knew I know how busy you are. That's all you got to say. We are not going to reschedule Ravenna, Nebraska, unfortunately. No. I talked to Gary Barrett down in Monette. He was bummed out. All that advertising time and money and effort and boom. But we can't. That's one thing we can't control. That I feel like the internet. Other than that,
yeah.
I feel like I know what I'm doing. But this year has been humbling with that internet deal. So Zuck says I'm checking it over tomorrow. Should be good. So looking forward to. Yeah, go ahead, bud.
No, look forward to Rock Valley, like you were getting ready to say. I think.
Yep.
And don't forget about that shootout, that Super Farm. Super Farm is a big deal in Rock Valley. You're right.
Well, a lot of local guys. Yep.
And those Super Farm guys are stars in Rock Valley. I mean, the fans in that town stay for that class. And of course, Red Rock is from right there in Rock Valley. But awesome, the Keizer Wheels and Extreme Performance Tire Cutting. Yeah, they're going to put up $3,000 to the winner take all in the Super Farm Shootout Saturday night. So that'd be super cool.
It's awesome.
And of course, the second leg of the Big Smoke Shootout with Diesel Super Stocks as well. $5,000 up for grab in that sweep there with the Big Smoke Shootout. So thank all our guests for coming on tonight. Tim Lancaster.
Yeah, he was great.
Wade Huseman from Keizer
Wheels.
He
does such an amazing job with the social media for that page, like the history and I'm in envy of him what he does. He does such a great job with that. So,
always posting something out there, keeping it fresh and keeping people's eyes on it. That's what you got to do.
For sure.
Thanks, Chase Richardson, for coming on as well from Full Pull and
then really just breaking down how it's all going to work, Ron.
Yeah,
that's important.
And Taylor Van Beek, thanks to Taylor for coming on. All our guests, all the folks that tuned in, looked like a big show tonight, had big numbers. Thank you so much for supporting the shows, supporting the Outlaws, supporting pulling. Russ says, I guarantee you sell out of Womp Womp koozies in Rock Valley. That's because you're going to buy a case of them, Russ. Just admit it.
I got to get him some. So I haven't checked in with Hope yet to see how many we had left. Toma, we set up 2 merchandise booths, Ron, one on each side of the track. So it worked really, really well. Full Pull support for sure. Yeah, Richard's watching from California. I'm excited for Full Pull. Just Chase explained it well. And Ron, you're an awesome interviewer. And it'll be great to have you on the panels in Rock Valley. It's a lot of fun.
It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
So, all right,
Jason,
everybody.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks for watching. Have a good night. We'll see y'all soon.
Thank you.
I'm going to play Taylor's video one more time because just glad he's okay.